he's a sufferer. So recently, in the contract with Jake Paul, which had everything in it but the kitchen sink, but he refused point blank to sign up to the drug testing people's either. Now, to me, that's very naughty, because we're meant to be in a high-profile fight. What's going out being beamed all over the world, and he won't.
You know, I don't even know the kid. You know, he keeps talking about me with the cocaine thing. I said, let's do drug tests. You can drug test me for the next 10 years for cocaine, and for the next 2 years, I can drug test you for performance-enhancing drugs. And he never really responded. He said, how about you test all your fighters?
Right.
The Warlock should have told him,
right.
We test all our fighters. Our guys are tested by USADA, the toughest drug testing policy in all of sports we have. And, you know, he started saying, oh, I've been over here, look at me, I'm fat, and I don't care how long it was ago that you fought. USADA drug test you and you took drugs, they're gonna catch you.
Jake Paul fails drug test just before Gervonta Davis mega fight. Chaos erupts in the boxing world. Fans are furious, the media is on fire, and Jake's entire legacy now hangs by a thread. Days before the fight of his life, he's caught in controversy, while Gervonta stands tall, clean, composed, and ready to punish him in the ring.
The internet just exposed Jake Paul, because while he was eating some pizza, his manager came up behind him and secretly handed him something that nobody could see. And at first, Jake didn't do anything, just continuing to eat. But after he was done, he casually raised his hand to his mouth and put something.
Now Jake's out here defending himself like a man cornered, talking about random tests, commissions, and haters. The usual PR cleanup routine, but the timing couldn't be worse. When your name's trending for all the wrong reasons, words don't hit the same. Across the gym, Gervonta's camp isn't wasting a breath. They're sharpening the game plan, smelling blood in the water.
You also went through VADA testing this camp. Now that I saw you posted something on
Not
social
this
media.
camp. He's gone through full VADA testing multiple times.
How does
right?
it-
Tommy
how
Fury,
many
Nate
times do
Diaz,
they-
this fight.
Yeah. How many times do they typically test you when they put you through the ringer like that?
Yeah, it's random, and they can come 2-3 days in a row sometimes, and just as much as they want whenever they want. So people just always love to make rumors up about me, but I do drug testing, the commission drug testing right before the fight, all these.
And that's when Eddie Hearn steps in, throwing fuel on an already burning fire. Eddie Hearn's words cut deep, pure frustration pouring out. He's tired of the drama, tired of Jake's circus antics, overshadowing real boxing. This isn't banter anymore, it's personal. When a promoter of Eddie's caliber loses composure, you know something's rotten. Gervonta's camp, though, remains silent, letting discipline and danger speak louder than chaos.
I said, did you or did you not say, I'll have someone pull up on you in New York? And he went, yes, I did. He said, but you didn't say, F off. I said, yes, I did, because I wouldn't know what else to say. At that point, you're all in. You can't back.
Chris Eubank Jr. said it best, no 50-50 split when you fail a test. It's about integrity, not influence. Boxing's built on fairness, not fame. Jake wanted equal ground, but respect is earned, not demanded. Meanwhile, Gervonta's proving his worth the hard way through discipline, hard graft, and an unshakable warrior mindset.
When you fail a drugs test, you don't get 50-50 split.
No. No matter commercial power pulling, no.
You don't get 50-50 split if you fail a drugs test.
And then, Johnny Nelson's voice of reason brings a deeper truth. This sport needs a real reset. Johnny Nelson speaks for every true fighter. This isn't just about Jake, it's about the sport's soul. Doping, corruption, shortcuts, they stain everything boxing stands for. He's calling for change, and he's right. Gervonta represents the purity left in this game. Raw skill, clean hands, and the will to dominate without crossing the line.
From a fighter's point, ex-fighter's point of view, I love our sport. I love the fighters benefiting financially from our sport as something they love. There needs to be a turn. There needs to be a change where this can't happen. You know, where the board get and say, look, everybody involved, you're all on a band. That something needs to be done, because it's probably a lot more rife.
Johnny Nelson's tone says it all: confusion, disbelief, and disappointment. An inquiry's coming, and rightly so. The sport can't afford blurred lines or dodgy cover-ups. Jake's name is already in question, and no past test talk will clean that up overnight. Meanwhile, Gervonta is staying sharp. No scandals, no distractions, just destruction on his mind.
There needs to be an inquiry straight after this. Why, what? But that's what I'm hearing. This news is as fresh to me as it is you. I'm quite sure when this goes out, it'll be all over the place anyway. But all I can say is he passed the UK one, that he didn't fail on that one.
Honestly, Duke McKenzie is hitting the nail on the head. Jake Paul failing a drug test isn't a mistake, it's a public humiliation. He's not just letting himself down, he's insulting everyone who respects the sport, including his own family. Imagine months of hype, training and promotion for a mega fight, only for it to collapse because of pure carelessness. His fans, his team, and even his dad are left shaking their heads while Jake treats rules as optional. This isn't just arrogance, it's a textbook example of self-sabotage. He might be trending online, but in the boxing world, his credibility is crumbling fast. Jake Paul has turned his own spotlight into a shameful circus.
It's just wrong, in my book. But you know what? I also think that, what he's done, it's like a slap in the face for his dad.
And the boxing legend's opinions only make his failure look even worse. Spencer Oliver and Simon Jordan are crystal clear, no second chances. Jake Paul didn't just fail a test, he flaunted his entitlement and expected leniency. That mindset is toxic for boxing. Fans and fighters alike are being sent the wrong message. Cheat and maybe get away with it. Jake's antics are eroding trust in the sport and making promoters rethink every deal involving him. His circus-style stunts may grab clicks, but they come at the cost of credibility, respect, and long-term legacy. The man has become a cautionary tale in real time, showing that arrogance and irresponsibility can dismantle everything you've built in a blink.
Yeah, listen, I've always been strong on that. I've always been strong on the fact that I don't believe in giving them a second chance.
You're basically saying, no 3 strikes and you're out.
No 3 strikes
and you're out.
No.
One, you fail a test and gone ski.
Absolutely, because I just believe then that moving forward, people would think twice about doing it. If they think, well, you know what, I'll get a second chance anyway.
Frank Warren is right to call this a non-runner. Jake Paul's hype fizzled instantly because he couldn't even meet the basic requirements to make the fight legitimate. Lawsuits, boards, and promoters scrambling. This is the fallout of mixing circus antics with professional sport. Drug tests aren't a joke, yet Jake treated them like one, undermining everyone involved. The fans were promised a mega fight, but instead, they got chaos. What Jake considers branding is just reckless behavior that damages the sport's reputation. His short-term fame comes at the cost of long-term credibility.
Let the penny drop that the fight could never go forward. And some of the stuff that's come out since about people being, the board being sued and something, and so forth, is just a non-runner. It's great.
Stephen A. Smith makes a point that should resonate with every boxing fan: fairness matters. And right now, Jake Paul is doing everything to cheat the system, not by bending rules in the ring, but by flaunting incompetence and controversy outside it. He talks about power and skill, yet fails to respect basic regulations, undermining the integrity of the sport. Fans aren't being treated to a legitimate contest, they're being shown a spectacle that prioritizes social media clicks over true competition. Every failed drug test, every stunt, and every excuse diminishes his credibility, making it impossible to take him seriously as a fighter. The hype surrounding Jake's mega fights only amplifies the disappointment when it becomes clear he can't compete on a real level. In short, his power is meaningless if it's not paired with integrity, and right now, Jake Paul is failing on both counts.
Powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But
Adam Booth's analysis exposes a harsh reality that Jake Paul would rather ignore. If a fighter can't bring legitimate power, speed, or strategy into the ring, hype means nothing. And let's be honest, Jake's size advantage or flashy confidence is worthless when his fundamentals crumble under pressure. Unlike real pros like Ben, who stay composed and fight through adversity, Jake's performances show he's more interested in social media clout than mastering boxing itself. Throwing punches without power or precision isn't skill, it's a joke. Fans buy into the spectacle, thinking Jake's massive followings equal talent, but every failed punch, every stumble, every fake bravado is proof he's out of his depth. This isn't experience or learning, it's blatant embarrassment. He's trying to cash in on fame while the real fighters are out there proving their craft, and it's painfully clear who belongs in a ring and who belongs on a YouTube stream. The boxing world watches, sighs, and shakes their heads as Jake Paul continues to pretend he can compete when every performance screams the opposite.
It's because he couldn't box anymore, because his legs weren't working.
Yeah.
He was throwing a lot of shots, but nothing had any real power or snap because he didn't have it in him. And so he couldn't force his size advantage on Ben.
And if you think that was bad, Duke McKenzie's take on his license will blow your mind. Duke McKenzie isn't holding back, and neither should anyone talking about Jake Paul's fiasco. Handing back your license isn't a humble move, it's an admission of guilt, plain and simple. And let's be brutally honest, Jake has tried to spin this as contamination or an unfortunate accident, yet the fact remains, he's been caught twice. Once is careless, twice is intentional negligence. The British Boxing Board of Control is one of the most respected governing bodies in the world, and their patience with Jake has limits. Returning the license, that's basically a public confession that he can't be trusted to follow rules or respect the sport. The arrogance to think social media fame shields him from accountability is staggering. While real fighters dedicate their lives to mastering technique, fitness, and integrity, Jake Paul relies on hype, stunts, and excuses, undermining everyone who works seriously. This isn't just a personal failure, it's a warning to the entire boxing community. Integrity matters more than clout, and Jake has now put his career and reputation firmly on the line for all to see.
He's done. Now, the fact that he's given back his licence to the British Boxing Board of Control, who in my opinion are the best governing body in the world, bar none, it's kind of like a proof of admission, certainly. And for him to do what he's done, you know, they're talking about contamination, right? So if you've done it once, then you got caught out, then you do it again. It can't be contamination, can it? Because he's been caught twice for doing the same thing. So if it was me, take his licence away.
At this point, it's crystal clear. Jake Paul's antics have crossed the line from hype to humiliation. Failed drug tests, public admissions of guilt, and the blatant disregard for boxing's rules have turned what should have been a mega fight into a circus of embarrassment. Legends, promoters, and fans alike are shaking their heads, questioning not just his skill but his integrity. The message is loud and clear. No matter how big your social media following, disrespecting the sport will always come with consequences. So here's the question for you. Do you still think Jake Paul deserves a second chance, or is this the final nail in his boxing credibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you believe in real boxing over clout, and hit subscribe for all the latest updates, breakdowns, and uncensored takes. Don't miss out, because the fallout from this scandal is only getting messier, and you want to be front and center for every shocking moment.